everybody sign that? Yeah, that's it. Notification of unregistered declarations of peculiar interest. Has that been signed? Is everybody declaring? Notification of consideration of dispensation. Take that's nobody. Minutes of previous meetings. Yep.
The meeting we had in November, I've just handed you the minutes and I know that there's, I've missed off council for you on a bit of it, so I'll have to send them you again. You've not had them long enough to consider. I believe there's 2 sets of minutes that haven't been typed up. And Kerry and I are looking for any notes or anything that we can make something out of to get those minutes to you. What we do if we can't, I'm not quite sure, but we're working on that. So we'll have to bring the minutes.
Are all the previous minutes now signed off?
I think there's one set, is there, that's not,
There's
one set missing. One set that's not been signed, as I understand it, one set not been signed, 2 that haven't been written, and the ones that I've just handed you tonight, which you've not had time enough to look, and there's an error straight away.
So what about the one that's not been signed? We're over with that now.
Waiting to sign.
Then I'll bring it to the, I'll speak with Kerry on Tuesday. I'm in the office now on Tuesdays, Tuesday afternoons, and so I'll find that out from, because I don't know which one it is. We'll find that out and we'll bring that to the next meeting as well. Is that okay?
Right, moving on item 6, confirmation of date for future meetings. Full council meeting.
The dates, I'm trying the dates that I've picked up from
Yeah,
another document.
I'd like to call another meeting and just open it up some stuff. Yeah. I'd like to put to council that we call another meeting in before the 7th of February just to get back on track and get on top of stuff what's been done. Yeah?
Yep.
Fowler? Alan, seconder? Ian? I think, is everybody free next Friday evening?
Just check it out.
I'm free, that's fine. What we'll have is a problem to get your agendas out to people a day's notice, and you all accept them by email. You're all happy with email, council, regularly, in fact, most.
I'll post, yes, please.
It might be a day late.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
I'll
with you?
accept it, yeah.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, I'll accept it.
Thank you. Well, I can get yours to you by email.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll accept it.
Yeah, thank you.
So if we aim for, depending on whether this room's booked, don't think it'll be next Friday, 6 o'clock.
17.
What date is that?
17.
17.
Can we ask if it's going to be public?
Yeah.
Yes. And I'll get Kerry to run that.
Committees, B. So we need to start moving on with those committees. So,
Personally, I think the personnel one needs to meet fairly quick, and so does the finance.
So does the appendix.
And so does the allotments.
So does the allotments, yeah.
They all need to meet.
Well, I'm going to be honest, I'm not happy about the personal one as things stand at the moment. Well, with what's happening with Steve.
What?
Well, I don't want to get into an argument today about it. You know, maybe we
You
can
seemed
talk
quite
about
happy to do it last time when I went here. So,
Sorry?
what's the issue about the HR committee?
the HR committee. We didn't have, when you weren't here,
No, what's the issue about the HR
you
committee?
being on the HR committee.
What issue is that?
Well, based on what's been happening between you and Steve,
What has been happening between me and Steve?
we have to go over all ground.
We're not going to go over ground. What is the point that you don't want me on the HR? Am I taking it that you don't want me on the HR committee?
I don't think you ought to be on the HR committee. So.
I don't think they are now, Ross, I'll tell you. I'm sorry, but
obviously, if
Well, through the
if
chair.
there is issues that's got
No,
to be
it's all right,
raised.
no.
the hand up.
If his hand's up now,
Through the chair.
Can we say that, you know, whatever councillors, you know, have got issues with personnel issues, what they do is they declare the fact that they'll not speak on that issue, it remains on that committee? Would,
Yeah.
would that be an acceptable
I think it
compromise?
I think it goes further than that. I think it goes further than that.
right, HR committee set up, people have voted on, not voted on, sorry, it's up and running. That's it. If there's an issue what comes up, and I've got to step down from the HR committee, I will follow every guideline and rule. So that's the end of that.
Okay, can you just note my objection?
What would you?
Well, I've noted that you've said that you're not happy
Yeah.
that Councillor Walker to be on the personnel committee.
Yeah.
Do you want to speak, Sharon?
Yes, obviously there will be conflicts of interest on the HR committee, obviously with other councillors as well, so they will be have to declare interest on it, so that will take the numbers down who will be sitting on the HR committee.
Hang on. Steve?
Could I ask Sharon, other councillors, who's those?
It's complaints that's gone in.
No, who's the other two councillors?
That's not for me. That's for it's
No,
to be
can I-
discussed.
No, all right then.
You
May I
was on an interviewing panel along with me,
Yeah.
and if there's complaints gone in from that
Has
interviewing
that been
panel,
lodged with Sarah Sternberg?
I believe so. Yeah,
No, has it or hasn't it?
I believe so.
Can I?
Yes or no?
Right. Let's just try and keep on top of this. I've got a little bit of information. I spoke to Sarah Sternberg some time ago before Christmas. There's been no complaints made against any councillor in this room. None. So that's drawing a line with that. We will move forward. We will work together.
Yeah.
So thank you. So committees. Finance committee and HR committee is quite urgent for them to meet first. So if we could set a date up for the finance committee and the HR committee. Once that's done, we can move on to other committees. Event, yes.
May I suggest that Janice actually sets the dates, because I'm aware that all the subcommittees want to meet, you know, and obviously their times, so
Yeah.
She's lying.
what works?
Pretty much anything.
Oh, really?
I have a few,
Oh, okay.
I have a few commitments. I'm always committed on the first Wednesday and Thursday of a month. And then the rest of things are committed reception.
Would it be alright for those on the committee for Janice to get back with us some dates when everybody's available?
Yeah, because she's pretty much.
Yeah, but
Well, she's
is
pretty
it,
much free,
is it
so
Fridays that suit you, or any day in particular?
As far as the finance committee, who's on the finance? It's myself, yourself, and is it Barbara?
So,
So this
And
is
it's
fine.
Natalie on it as well, I believe.
I'm not sure whether Natalie, I know she's on
I think
HR, I'm not sure. I
Right.
can't
get
remember.
some dates together.
I'm thinking Tuesday.
So finance on a Tuesday.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, I'm all right. Wednesdays are certainly out for us.
Okay, so would this coming Tuesday work? If
This
there's
coming
matters of
Tuesday, we wouldn't
urgence.
have time to get agendas out, it'll have to be a week on
Right, okay, I didn't know if we could just
Tuesday.
set it up
Mm.
as such.
You've all got to have 3 clear days notice of your,
So,
of meetings. So Tuesday, the 21st.
okay.
That's what finance. HR? Is there anybody on the HR committee?
Who's on HR?
Me, Steve, Alan, Sharon, and Natalie.
Obviously, we don't know about Natalie because she's not.
What shall we go for? What's the next available date for the council meeting? Monday?
The Monday the 20th.
Monday the 20th.
I'm already.
So
Where
HR,
Where are we conducting these meetings, guys?
Yeah, so we're gonna have to speak with pencil those in. If Janice can speak with Community Centre Manager, if those dates aren't available, what day can you do? They do Wednesdays.
Can't do it Wednesdays, no.
So
We're running-
any other day besides that then. So we're going for HR on the
April on the 20th
20th.
and finance on the 21st.
Right, thank you very much. Clowne Burial, Clowne Parish.
And what we're setting
We haven't done
events.
events, so-
Allotments or allotments.
Sorry, events.
I can't do Wednesdays or Thursdays.
So do you want to do next
Do you want
week?
to go, the next available date would be the
Want to have it on the 24th and then
24th is a Friday.
Yeah,
It's not,
but then we've got 3 committees on the same week, haven't we? And we can do that. And then if we've got allotments, why not put them all on the same week? So then we're all sorted. Then
Well, that depends on.
if people are available, then we might as well. If we're having one on the Monday, one on the Tuesday. Obviously, you guys can't do Wednesday, but you could maybe have like the allotments on the Thursday if people are available, and then have the events on the Friday, and then you've all got these committees on the same week, and that's it from the month. Just seems like common sense. Do you know
It's a
what I mean?
lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of judges.
so, sorry, 23rd are we going for then?
24th. That's all right.
24th for
Events.
events
Yeah. Thursdays and Wednesdays.
and allotments.
So events.
25th, you said?
No, I might have a problem with it.
25th is Saturday.
Oh no,
I'm sorry.
it's Burns now. The 25th is Saturday, it's Burns now. It's got a dog.
Well, somebody said,
So what day do you want for allotments?
somebody said Thursday at 24th,
20th.
so
We've got
Saturday
24th
can't
for
be.
events.
Yeah, but somebody said Thursday, so Saturday can't be 25th.
No, Thursday's 23rd. Friday's
23rd.
Friday's
25th.
So what?
So
about
events is
23rd
Thursday at
then?
23rd.
We haven't
Where
got
are we
anything
now?
but 23rd.
That's what I'm saying. No,
So 23rd allotments, yeah? That's it.
23rd
Wednesday.
allotments.
Wednesday into
No, that's a
Thursday.
Yeah.
So we've got events on 24th, allotments on 23rd, finance on 21st, HR on 20th.
Yeah.
But that's depending on whether John's becomes available, but
Yeah.
we can sort that out.
Yeah. If it snows, I might cry.
Yeah.
Got a long way to
We
go.
might talk
About snowing. Foundations.
I can't see much going on.
Moving on,
No.
item 7, Commissioners Forum.
We've got,
No,
sorry, we've got Barbara,
Oh, Barbara.
committed.
Well, it's a
Kerry
lot,
shows
this
me
one.
that the burial book is up to date,
23rd.
that's in the office is up to date.
And I think unless there's any urgent matters, I think we just defer it.
Sorry.
Who are the representatives from this council to that burial committee?
everybody.
Everybody.
Hmm.
And if everybody attends, how do we get, how's the voting like?
That needs to be sorted out next
Well,
council, won't it?
We agreed it was going to be a majority vote, as it was at the last,
Right,
the first and only meeting that
so we're all entitled to attend?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
But it's whether we, as I said, defer it. If there's no urgent matters, you know, what are we going to do if we sit together?
Does anybody know if anything's coming to the office?
That's right, yeah.
So,
All I'm aware of is that they've been assured that the burial book is up to date.
Okay.
I mean, what do you do? Do you approve monuments and things like
I
that?
think it, like we had on the last one, there were some complaints about certain things, and we also, we need to talk about what we're going to do about the expansion. It's the long term, we need to do about the expansion.
the work needs to start out, when we can talk about it. It might be
Yeah,
worth
because
just
we
having a
need to think
meeting
about
and talking about
financing it, don't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be worth having a meeting to discuss it.
Okay.
Yeah, if we've got no other business to discuss, we could actually focus on that, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Alan?
Have you been up to Balver Burial Ground lately?
We went
Not
up just
not
before
this year,
Christmas.
Well, three years ago, there was talk of taking some more trees down because of overhead power lines and whatnot. Last week, the people there were there that do the power lines. 3 years ago, they agreed they would come every year trimmed back branches so it didn't affect any power lines or anything, any power. They've done it again this year. They've been, so I were there talking to them, so they've trimmed back any dangerous branches that could touch and spark against power lines and cause problems.
Okay.
So I was actually there talking to them, and it's 3 years since they did it because there was a bit of an hoo-ha at the time. But I'm just informing you that they've made everything safe, and they will come again this year. They'll come every year. So I don't know if you know about it. If you talk to Councillor Watson from Balber, he'll tell you a tale.
To come back to that, then, we need to again retrieve the minutes from that meeting. I suspect they've not been written up.
And is it Clowne Parish Council members as well?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so I need to get the
You get the agenda, if you can let me know as chair,
yeah,
and then we'll call it as soon as we can.
right, yeah, so I'll give you a call and then
Yeah.
set a meeting.
Yeah, I've got some items to bring to it in a rush.
Sharon's got her hand up.
Sharon?
Yeah, Mr Roberts' issue's not been solved about his payment for his wife's funeral, for a plot.
Mr Roberts?
Mr Roberts, yeah.
I don't know about this, so
He sent a letter in and it weren't discussed, and it said it were going to come up again at next one.
is this about a burial plot?
It's about the payment of payment for for his wife's funeral.
Right, yeah, I don't know about this, so I'll talk to Kerry
Yeah.
on Tuesday.
Right.
Thank you. Moving on to item 7, Parishioners Forum. So I'd like to open it up. Any questions?
Oh, yes.
The last parish council meeting, other than the extraordinary ones, I think it was the 4th of October, there was an item on it under reports from outside bodies. It said item 811, Clowne parking issues and a reference number, but it was completely missed off the meeting. What's the reason for that?
To tell you the truth, I've got no idea.
And is Councillor Weston or another county councillor invited to these meetings?
Yes.
Do they choose not to attend, or?
Pardon?
No, I don't know,
No,
because I haven't invited her tonight.
no, it's standard practice that she comes.
Right.
She's,
On the agenda for tonight, there's things that, like the one thing I put into council back in November, and that's not appeared on tonight's. I was told I needed to put it on 7 days prior to a meeting. It went on in November, but it's not on the agenda for tonight.
Right, can you tell me what it is? 'Cause I
It's
may-
about parking issues in Clowne.
Parking. Sorry, could I have your name?
Yeah, Shelton, Michael Shelton.
I'm not aware of it.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that it's not in the office.
Right. The only thing I've heard about it was prior to the meeting I was told that the police had looked at it and didn't think the problem was that bad. Well, I don't know where they've been looking, but they've certainly not been looking on King Street.
is it at Brown School? Is that,
Yeah,
yeah.
Brown School. They're now getting so bad that there are no grass verges virtually left. They're churned up with cars. The problem is just simply getting those.
We want it on film, I think.
We actually had difficulty getting into the lane tonight because there was a car parked beyond the drop curb, which meant technically it was encroaching, although it was parked, the majority of the car was parked on Red Lane, it was stuck out into King Street. And we had great difficulty getting round it because not only was he stuck out that way, he was 12 inches out from the curb. Well, Rood Lane's not a wide road at any time, but when somebody parks like that, then there's problems.
I've seen young mothers with one child and a buggy having to walk out into the road because the pavement's completely blocked. They park both both sides of King Street, the first time they need an ambulance or a fire engine to Park Fields, one of the schools, they won't get down the road.
I spoke to Suzanne PCSO. I don't think you mentioned it to me. I don't think it come to council. Did it come to council on that?
You and I spoke about it outside before the meeting.
That's it. I spoke to the PCSO and to the school. PCSOs were going to go up. They hadn't been up for some time, but they promised me that they would go up. They've not got back to me with an answer about if they've been up or not. I can get back in touch with them.
Well, the last time you and I spoke, you said that they'd been up and didn't think the problem was that bad.
I said that.
That were the words, yeah. That were the words you used that the PCS or the police said to you. They didn't see the problem was that bad when they attended. Well, I go on average 3 days out of 5, which is 60% of the time, and it's atrocious. I don't live there, so I'm not worried about blocking somebody's driveway. My concern is that a child is going to be knocked down or killed there.
Yeah. Even when the school put out their bollards because they've got coaches coming in and they've got a big one coming up because the whole of the junior school's going out. You've got anybody who's got children at the junior school, I've got a newsletter today. They're all going to Chester Zoo, the whole junior school. So there's going to be a lot of vehicles there, and all the mothers do is just move the cones.
Can anyone that's a governor contact the school as well? Because a lot of the parents, they're just sitting in the cars with the engines running, and the fumes are terrible. I asked somebody the other day to turn the engine off, and she just looked at me and went,
I am a governor. I spoke to Charlotte about it.
well,
She was
can
going to send
we approach the school? Could they send out letters to the parents?
They're supposed to have been sending or have sent a letter out regarding parking. That's when I can't get the time scale with dates. Did I mention that to you?
Well, there's more and more
That's
kids with asthma these days,
Yeah.
and a lot of it, well,
The police can't take any action against vehicles parking, even if they park on the hatching outside school. They cannot take any action against them because there are no signs up stating times of restricted parking. Whereas if County Council will put up time restrictions outside the school, wherever, they can then send up parking enforcement officers and do something about it.
When I spoke to PCSOs, what they've told me it's illegal. It's not illegal to park on the verge, but it's illegal to drive on the verge, which is
There's got to be a strong case, Ross, surely, for emergency services.
yeah.
There's got to be a strong case for that.
Fire brigade
Yeah.
just say that they will bump any cars in their way out of the way.
Can we give them a time to again?
It could be days. I think there's got to be a strong case for emergency services. I've got an auntie that lives up there.
Can I bring in something that's not directly related to parking, but it will affect it? Some councillors are aware of this, but the council own 2 fields at the bottom of Rood Lane. They currently don't own the part of the lane at the side of those 2 fields, but they've applied to the government for a compulsory purchase order. And they want to build 50 houses on those 2 fields. Right? Now, the access route, the preferred access route to the site will be from the fields, I've got a map and I can show you, through a piece of land that they also own behind Orchard Close where there's an electric substation. And then they want to knock down 2 council bungalows to create the access road from
2 sets, Jen.
Orchard
2
Close.
sets, Jen.
Can I leave room, please, because I'm on planning.
Oh, yeah.
And I would like to ask this council to back any objections that can be made about this. Because if they're going to build 50 houses, that's 100 cars added to the problems we've already got on King Street, Rood Lane and Ringer Lane.
Yeah, push it out back. Are we talking about any more developments or any planning now?
We're talking about, well, the council are going into conjunction with a building firm,
Yeah.
likely to be Dragonfly, of which there are the leader of the council and a chap that's employed by the council called Galloway are directors. Conflict of interest. That's Rood Lane. They own these two fields, but they don't own this. What they're planning to do is to come through there, and knock those two bungalows down to come onto this road, which is full of old people's bungalows who do not have driveways and all park on and then come onto Queen Street.
Can I just say that there hasn't actually been an
There's no planning application in.
none yet.
But don't they say that they haven't assessed the site? A building firm does not want to build on a site that hasn't already been assessed. Have you seen it? That's the two fields. This is the lane they want to compulsory purchase. They want to come through there, knock those two bungalows down and come out there. And these are all old folks' bungalows. All of them.
What I can suggest, send us
Eh?
an email.
Who lives in them?
Councillor McGregor lives in one of them. And the one next to it has just had hundreds of pounds being renovated, spent on it, and the new resident is been in there less than 2 months. That's how the council are wasting money. Have you seen it? That's the two fields. This is what they want to purchase. That's King Street.
Yeah.
No. They want to come through there onto there. That's the preferred entry. Because they can't come down this part of Rood Lane because they don't own that. And the county council stated about 5 years ago that it was unsuitable for any more traffic. That was when the care home was going to be built. You seen it?
Yeah, that's a substation.
Yeah, well, they want to
I'm
come
going
through
back to
there.
me.
Yeah.
Jenny, I'm going to have to...
Right
Jenny,
opposite Parkfields.
can I suggest that you send everybody that, or send it to office,
And another thing, if you go on the council's website and put anything in about the compulsory purchase order on Rood Lane, nothing comes up.
It's not this council, can we just make that clear? So, I'm going to go back to me, because I don't think we're finished. Is that it with that? Can we call Alan back in, or?
I would like the council to back any future interventions that they can give on any of this. Unfortunately, this was closed in November, but the inspectorate are now looking at it because we've had a letter about it.
Because it's only going to make the parking worse round about the school and round about parkings.
How's 100 extra cars going to get through a one-way street? Sharon's...
Councillor Gregor?
I want to confirm everything what Nick's telling you, because he told me after he spoke to you about PCSOs and they didn't see as there was going to be a problem and everything, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And you was with the situation
Ross,
with
is
me.
the planning?
Just hold on a minute, David.
No, it's a planning bit for this.
I don't know, I'm trying to find out. Everybody's just jumping in and we're getting a bit wild. Have we finished talking about the planning now? Yes?
Thanks, David.
Thanks. Cheers, David.
Okay, they finished all that. Cheers, thank you.
So what are you confirming, Sean?
I'm confirming everything Michael's saying, and I'm saying how bad it's getting. You was there, you saw a situation, and all it's getting now is they think they should be parking on pavement all the time, as nobody can pass at all. And if you do say that you should be able to get through, you're just getting abuse.
Yeah.
So it has been said that one kid has already been clipped on corner of Crown Street. There was a situation the other week where the gates was opened on the piece of land that one of the schools owned, and there was a lot of cars parking up there, and it did make the situation better. So people are now saying that the two pieces of land on Ringer Lane that belong to either or both schools that need making into parking areas to alleviate the problems at King Street and at Crown Street, Ringer Lane. They've got two pieces of land there. They've done nothing with them. The gates are shut on one. One is supposedly a wildlife area that's never touched. And people are saying now that the priority should be that these two pieces of land are taken over to sort out the parking problems.
That's
That's what's happening.
I can just back what Sharon said there, Chair. I went my aunt Mavis just before Christmas. My aunt Mavis lives in those houses straight across from the old people's houses there. I timed them, and I had to leave in 5 minutes. It was mental. I had to get the car out and go home, and I couldn't get down King Street. I had to go all the way through the estate, back up to Ringer Lane, back up to Mansfield Road. It was absolutely pathetic. It's mental.
There are parents that drive up there, can drive at 500 metres less, rather than more.
Well, you don't know how to walk these days.
Because I recognise them, they live near me.
You don't know how to walk to kids.
I'm going to
At least
public
it's
for sorry.
They're answering questions
Yeah.
before we can get off too.
Rose,
Right,
sorry.
I'm wanting to know why this councillors aren't getting on with one another. We used to go to Angel when we tried to come out to Labour, and you were all one big happy family. And now, Sharon, Natalie, you're all at loggerheads. Why? Is it because Conservatives have come on? And which way is Natalie going? Is she going Conservative? You can smile, I'm not a Conservative person.
No, I just don't...
But there's a lot, to me, I've seen a lot, and it's Natalie's done this, Natalie's done that, Natalie's been here, Natalie... And I thought, what the bloody hell she got? She got a gold medal. I mean, if she'd have been here, I'd have said it to her face, Ross. There is something not right with this lot. With all
Nothing
of
to
you.
do with Conservatives being on board at all.
And I don't think you should be in here, so,
I'm sorry,
yeah,
Why?
Conservative, I don't.
but we've been voted
Yeah,
in.
I'm not saying you haven't been voted in, yes.
We've got as much right
I'm
as
not
everybody else to sit
Conservative,
on this
I mean,
committee. So what have you got against us?
a lot.
A lot.
You
I
can't see
don't like
that.
Conservatives.
I'm going to stop.
I've been Labour and I've gone down to other now, but I still go back. Yeah. Right.
We've got 5 minutes left for public. There's one more. Is it
Shut it
No,
down.
go on.
Hands go on.
Parking at TSB, it's ridiculous. They're parking on double yellow lines, they're parking horizontally, 30 foot to curb. It's a total bloody nightmare.
Quite agree with you, Trev, and I'll tell you something else, right? I came up from my father's off of Grey Street the other day checking. I followed the police car up there. There was actually a car parked parallel onto the junction, and they just drove straight past it. Now, if police aren't, what are we supposed to do? If the police, that's an offence parking like that.
What was it, a blue Jaguar?
A big black blue Jaguar, very posh thing, yeah. And it was parked parallel, and I got my wife with me, and I said, just look at that, a cop who's just gone past that now, not pulled up, not ticketed, went straight past, not bothered. What can anybody do if police aren't prepared to do
The
it?
thing is, if you clip it, it's your fault.
Yep.
Not theirs, if you put the back in, it's yours.
I've done it now. Ross?
Sorry.
No.
Also, the trees on Brook
What's
Lane,
about that though?
Pardon?
Brook Hill, the conifer trees,
Other people.
they must be protruding at least 3 foot over that wall.
Can't see a
If somebody's parked up, they're not parked on Causeway, you're scratching your car on trees.
They belong
There's
to
also,
Still going to ask.
Alan brought it up 2 years ago. The lamp at the bottom of Brook Hill,
Can't see at all.
you can't see that.
Can I just...
And Weston's supposed to sort that out.
I'd just like to say something on that.
Alan Royal.
2 weeks ago, I went to see Anne Weston,
I know.
right, to see
I know.
Anne Weston about that particular tree. That lamp's not working. They came to clean the grates out because of the flooding. I was there when they went because I asked them to come. When they lifted that grate up, it was that deep in stuff. So that tree is causing flooding as well as anything else.
Right, thank you. This is a public forum, so we do need to keep it public. And
I just wanted to
Can we
reply
have
about
letters
parking.
sent?
can we just keep a little bit of order because it's going all over now, it's getting a bit silly. And you've had your hand up for some time.
A few items, please. The seats and bins, which has now been going on since September. I've got correspondence between Steve Singleton and Avant Holmes. But of course now the momentum's gone. Sorry?
Now see,
Ian, just
I've got the correspondence here.
Ian, can we just sit down everybody, please?
Yeah, anyway, what I want to know is, will it get, I don't know who to contact. I mean, Janice is not here full time, are you? So,
No, I'm not here all the
in
time.
your absence, does Kerry follow things up?
Kerry will pick things up. We're compiling a list at the moment of things that have been action.
Well, like I say, I know an email was sent to Alan Holmes, this Gareth Mills, Miles, whatever his name is, and I haven't had the correspondence because Steve was sending me the emails backwards and forwards. So there should be some correspondence back from him from September. And it was something that's been going on for about 4 years, Janice.
Right.
And so I don't want to lose the...
No. So it's seats and bins at where, sorry?
Sorry?
Whereabouts are these
At the
seats?
top of Mansfield Road, and also some bins which were going to be put in Mill Street. And that, the contact for that was Richard, what's his name now? Richard Camps. Also, can I just mention as well, we applied for it, well, we got a grant application form off Steve for this £250 for local, charities, what have you. Am I able to send that in now? It's completed, but we don't know who to send
Yeah,
it.
if you send it in to Kerry, then we'll pick it up between us. If you send it into the parish council office, we'll
Right,
pick it up.
it's just that we're at limbo. We just didn't know whether or not things were being dealt with.
They haven't been being dealt with because obviously Kerry's been off, but we're back at work now, so office is manned, and we're trying to catch up with the backlog.
Right, okay. CCTV cameras, do we know whether or not it's picked up all this antisocial behaviour that we've had in the village over the last couple of weeks?
Right, the CCTV, we can't actually look at it as a council, we've got to be approved through GDPR, so the police can look at it.
I wanted to have a word with the police if they came, but obviously they're not here.
So the best protocol with that is to contact.
I've sent an email and I've not heard from them. So, what else? Going to do with litter, dropping rubbish and fly tipping. I see in York they're doing on-the-spot fines of £100. Can we approach Bolsover Council and ask them to do a similar thing? Because it's getting ridiculous. And can I just say, youth club at Barlborough, can I just ask Maxine, is it going to be open to just other children in the area, or is it just for Barlborough children?
No, it's open to everybody. We're just carrying on from what's happened for the last 15 years, so
Right,
everything
okay.
stays the same.
Right, I just wondered if it was a new project that
No, it's not. I have amended it actually today and put it on that somebody else had asked, but yeah, it's open to
So
anybody.
it is open. I know we used to have in Clowne which was open to surrounding villages, but I didn't know whether that one was.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I don't know whether or not you could pass this on for Natalie, please. I know she was doing something with wildflowers, and now's the time to be sorting it out with the council to approach them to get these vergers ready. Otherwise, we're going to miss the boat for this year.
I think she'd already approached him.
She already,
So,
I know she's approached them, but I don't know what it's in the pipeline.
Check it out.
Okay, right, there are one or two more bits, but that'll do, thank you.
If you've got this, if you could email them into Kerry, you know, things that you think have been overlooked, email them into Kerry, I'll put them up on Tuesday when I'm in there, and
What, the correspondence? She's got,
no, that, you know, little bits of,
all right,
if you wouldn't mind
memory,
sending just an email in, then we can pick it up, and then I know I've
memory
not,
job.
yeah, please,
Okay.
and then I know we've not missed anything.
Okay, that's fine.
That'd be very helpful to me.
Yeah, what, have you got your own email?
Yes.
Or do I put Kerry?
If you send it to Kerry,
Okay,
then I'll pick
and
it
say
up.
that, yeah, we discussed it in the meeting.
Yeah, that'd be lovely, thank you.
I've got 2 minutes left to look for.
Could all council meetings put on the Facebook or something to inform the residents of Clowne when they're taking place? Because I think there must be 3/4 or more of residents that don't know anything.
Okay, so there is a thought that well, I'm
Not
going to put,
speak of it,
I'm
but
going to put a proposal for the next agenda that we actually come out with a social media policy as a council, and then we actually come up with a Facebook. I'm going to put it on the agenda, but it's whether or not it's accepted that we have a Facebook and a Twitter page run as a Clowne Parish Council.
and also
Will it be a public site?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's something that, like, both myself and Ian completely separately thought of, and it just happened that on, like, New Year's Day or the day after New Year, we just met in Tesco's and we were like, oh, well, this would be a good idea, and we both had the same idea, so it's something that obviously Ian's going to follow up with, but, you know, it'd just be good, because obviously the people, the parishioners of Clowne who are on Facebook and that, it's open and it's there, and it's an actual Clowne page, Clowne Council page.
You haven't got your notice board up yet,
I know.
and you've got planning permission for it to go up.
I've got it. Yeah, we're aware of that.
Are you going to update this council site so we can find it on there?
The address is still wrong on that site.
Unfortunately,
Is this the web page?
No, what else? You got this?
The web page we're talking about.
Yeah.
We currently can't get into it,
Right,
and that's why it's
yeah.
not been updated. We are trying to get that sorted out.
Right. That's,
Can I just make a reply to what Rose said? You're completely right what you said, Rose. We should be working together, not lose cannons.
right, thank you, Alan.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Not only me,
Totally,
some of the
totally.
public think it as well.
Right, thank you. Right, that's ended public forum. Thank you very
Sorry?
much.
Because he said totally. It's
That's
not-
end
it's
of
not
public
totally.
forum and public participation. Thank you. Cheers. Item 8, reports to community from outside bodies. Have we got any? None to Groups Council. Chair's report. We've got nothing to report. Items raised by council for consideration. Again, because of the late, because we've not received these in time, we can't make a decision, but we can have a discussion about it.
There are 3 things. Councillor Salt's raised 2 matters, and Councillor Dixon has raised a matter. So Councillor Salt has got a feasibility report.
Yeah, so obviously what Janice handed out beforehand, obviously can't remember whether it was September or October, but obviously when we had the meeting, we discussed, I brought forward a proposal to maybe get a skate park, and we asked, we all voted for Steve to do a feasibility study, which included the skate park, extreme wheels, and stuff like that. Obviously Steve went off ill in October, November time, so I basically took it upon myself to do one for the skate park. So the report that I've written gives a bit of information about sort of like where it would be potentially, the companies that I've got to speak to about it. There's also I've handed Janice some of the like ideas that they, or the brochures that they sent back and what they offer as companies to have a look at. So I don't know if you want to have a look at them, so they're just there. So if you want to pass them around, have a look at them. So I reached out to 3 companies, or 4 companies. Two basically turned around and said no, that they can't take on the workload at the moment, and they've had to restrict right down to where they are. And then 2 actually responded. I had a phone call with 1 company. So the first company was called Canvas, and they work up and down the country. They also work internationally, and they work with some of the top skate brands in the country, in the world, to create skate parks. So they work with the likes of Adidas, Vans, DC, Hurley, O'Neill, stuff like that. And on the phone to them, I sort of explained as a council what potentially we would want. It wouldn't be like this massive, huge thing that took over half the planet, wouldn't it? It should be something little tiny that would get kids out and stuff like that. And they sent back a brochure, which is obviously in there, and their prices range from 60,000 to $750,000, and they vary in size. The other company that I approached was a company called 414, and they there were loads up and down the country. They've recently finished a project in Warrington, which is it's huge, massive indoor skate park, which has a foam pit, and it's amazing. If you have a chance to go on YouTube and look it up, it's an amazing skate park that they've produced. And it's the same with Canvas. They've just finished one in Vancouver for DC Shoes, which are a skate company, and they built it for them to promote skating for a professional audience in Vancouver, Canada. So when I emailed them, their head was actually in Vancouver at the time, opening it with loads of professional skaters and stuff like that.
Does that mean you've got a trip out to Vancouver to see it then? Is that where?
I mean, I'd love to, but no, unfortunately not. But along with obviously looking up companies and that to approach, I've also gone away and I've looked up obviously how, as a council, if we went forward with the idea of creating a skate park for the people, not just for the kids of Clowne, but also for Balborough and the surrounding villages. Like when there was last a skate park in here, I used it, and a lot of my friends who I played sports with, they used it as well, and they came from Diddington, Sheffield, like Hillsborough and stuff like that, just to come down and use it. So I've gone away and I've sort of had a look as well at how we could afford it as a council, because obviously even 60 grand's a lot of money. The one that was built in Whitwell, I think that cost about 70k. And they managed to, I think they only spent like, what was it, 1,500?
550.
So, yeah, so I've gone away and had a look, and actually national lottery grants are available, but they also bring in the likes of Sport England, which are small grants, and that goes between 300 to £1,000. National lottery, community, reaching communities, that's 10 grand plus. And then you've also got Sport England Community Asset Fund, which can go anything from 1,000 to 150,000. But as I said, the report is there for you guys to have a look at and stuff like that. And then there's also them copies, if you want to hand out, have a look at each, have a look at it. They're like the 2 companies and what they offer and where they've worked. So yeah, that's my first thing to consider anyway.
Thanks. Yes, just my name's first. Yeah.
No, it's all right. Well,
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware that the lad that designed the last one lives at Balborough and still lives at Balborough.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David?
You're aware that Whitwell had horrendous problems with the original
Yeah.
skate park?
So basically, one of the companies that I've approached, I asked them about, obviously, skate parks get damaged, skate parks, obviously, if they're wood, they can splinter, they can fall apart quite easily.
Like noise.
Well, this is it.
Noise was the biggest problem.
Well, this is it. Speaking to one of the companies, Canvas, they actually work with the community to not just offer like a skate park. When the skate park is built, they offer like benches for people to go sit there, like flowered areas, like trees and stuff like that. So it's not just a skate park plotted and that. It's actually it pulls in the community. Yeah. And they
No,
put
it's,
it in the
it's
community.
apparently the material that it's made out of.
Well,
Certain ones are really,
yeah.
really noisy,
Well,
but some are very quiet. Yeah.
The one that they use in Camblish is concrete, and it has a 25-year warranty with it. So if it trips or it breaks or something, they come back out and they fix it, and it's concrete. So I mean, I don't know if you've heard a skateboard or a scooter or a BMX on a concrete, but it's not that loud at all.
No.
The only time it starts getting loud is if you've got a metal jump, or you've got a grinding pole, or you've got you know, anything metal on there. Obviously it will create noise, but when it's concrete, I mean, obviously you are going to hear it, but it's not going to irritate wildlife, or it's going to, or like people in the surrounding area.
Yeah, it's the timber ramps as well. The timber ramps are really
Yeah,
easy
the
because
timber
all of
ramps
it's
are-
It's just
like
that they had to put a time restriction on, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what the gates.
They have to
Well,
change
the concrete,
it, went to
yeah.
concrete now.
The
Yeah,
concrete
it's all
is
about-
a lot like-
It's a twin, we call it twin skin,
Yeah,
and apparently the one that was originally fitted was only single skin.
yeah.
Yeah. So it resonates.
But yeah, so I mean, as I said, the report's there for you to have a look. There's also in there, what I've put in there is a possible area where we could potentially put it, where it's sort of inclusive for everywhere, and it's not out of the way. Like last time, obviously, it was out of the way, it was hidden, and there was a lot of activity that went on at night time that probably wasn't permitted. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if you went last time, but sometimes you come back on a weekend after a Friday, there'd be cans, there'd be other things, literally litter everywhere. So the proposed place that I put in there for us to have a look at is in there for you to have a look at. I thought it could maybe be done around here. So obviously we've got the pavilion there and the fence there. It's near the centre. We could maybe go, if we put it there, people are going to be here, people are going to watch it for security.
Perfect spot.
You won't encroach on football.
Not really. I mean, if we positioned it right, it's not going to be that big. Like if you have a look, I said, if you have a look in the brochure, the smallest one from each company, it isn't that big. You know, you could probably fit it in this room.
There's also scope, David, sorry to interrupt.
That's
There's
fine.
also scope, if it need be, there's room to move the pitches. Still
Oh,
using the same size
that's
pitches.
it.
There is room to move the pitches.
Yeah.
There is a discussion happening in the background, isn't there, of a redevelopment of
Yeah.
the facilities here, really, so
But yeah, I mean, that's.
it could encompass obviously this.
But yeah, so yeah, that's that.
Thanks for that, Dan.
I've also got a second thing on there, I think, as well.
Yeah, wildlife.
Yeah, so
Provisions for wildlife.
yeah, so the second thing that I've put on there, I've not brought anything with me. That's. A couple of weeks back, I asked Steve, a parishioner asked me about bush shelters and stuff like that. And Steve got back to me, and apparently, as a parish council, we own two. And so I had this conversation with Steve, and it ended and we had this conversation. Turns out we own two, and then I was on Facebook at the same time after I'd seen it. It was a couple of days later. I was on Facebook and I saw it that in Norway, in Finland, in Sweden, and also in some European countries now, they put the top of bush shelters. They put wild grass and like moss and stuff like that to help out with bees and with like birds and stuff. And my proposal to bring to council is that the two shelters that we own, we change the tops to wild grass and moss to help out with the bee population, because the bee population is plummeting, and without bees, pollination goes down, you know, our way of living completely changes. And I think as a council we should promote the safety and the keeping the population of bees. And so yeah, I think as a council we should change the tops of the two buses that we own into wild grass.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Yeah.
That's something that we could look into as a cost of.
Yeah, he needs to go to the next meeting.
As an agenda.
What are your bush shelters like? Are they
At the moment they're like arched,
arched?
but I think it probably doesn't cost that much to change the tops from an arched top to a flat top, and then just put some wild grass and moss over it. We own one on going out towards Cresswell, you know,
Gapsick Lane.
just before the junction to Gapsick Lane. We own that one there, and then I think there's one around the centre that we own. I don't know if it's one outside Tesco's or what, but we own one of them.
There's
I think your only problem is that I presume these are the cantilever ones. Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's going to be weighed.
Yeah. Well, we
don't know what structure.
No, I mean, obviously we could look at enforcing them a bit, do you know what I mean, so they don't drop. But I just thought, because, bees are going down in population, and I think everywhere should help. Wildlife in general is getting disrupted.
Good idea.
And I think we should help out, because every little is going to try and do somewhere.
I think it sounds like a great idea. Bush shelters have to be approved by county council to their standards, so is it worth me dropping an email to county council and see what they propose?
Please.
I'm surprised if you get an answer.
Is it me now?
Don't know.
Yes, it is.
Which is what which is what I wanted to speak. It's part and part about parking, but parking's an issue in Clowne and in Barbara, along with speeding traffic as well. So I had on Clowne Road in Barbara and on Cresswell Road in December, I got a traffic van monitoring traffic on both roads. He's not come back to me with the speeding on Cresswell Road, but in Barbara, in a 4-hour limit, there were 69 drivers over the speed limit. So I would say, knowing what Cresswell Road's like, it's going to be a lot of drivers there as well. So it's Barbara Parish meeting on Monday, and we've invited a chap to come along to talk about this, and also to talk about what do they call it now? Community Speed Watch, where the parish council can buy guns or hire them and train constituents to become involved. So he's coming to talk to us on Monday. I'm not sure if you want anybody to come and talk. You're not committed, but just talk generally, and we can bring it in also about the parking issues, and because even though they park on pavements, a lot of the traffic is parking on pavements, and they're not allowing pushchairs and wheelchairs, disabled people to get past, and that is when they are breaking the law.
It might be worth having a chat with me, because I'm in the process of working with the police. They're getting back to me, setting up community speed watch up. There's cameras which are available for free, so you don't have to buy them.
Because what, sorry?
The cameras are already there, they're free, you don't have to buy them.
No, the guns.
Yeah, the guns.
That's not how I was told.
No, right.
I thought you could borrow them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah, but you have to be trained. You have to be trained on it.
I've been on it since September, but police were going to get back to me before Christmas, but Christmas did. It's just been too busy. But I'm on. We're just waiting for training days for that. If you want to have a chat with me, I can do.
Just as a sideline, I believe that there is legislation being put forward for this year to actually consider, as they do in London, which is to ban parking on the curb. Whether it'll happen or not, I don't know.
I thought they already had.
No, it's only in London. London is the only place where it's banned.
Not an offence at the moment.
No.
No.
And what they may do is they may allow the local councils to determine when there's a restriction or not. But
we've been down this road as sorted out bylaws. I remember talking to Mick about it, and we sort of stayed away from it, but it might be not to look at setting a bylaw up.
It's the enforcement that's the problem. Getting somebody out
yeah, of course it is, yeah.
to enforce it, that's the problem.
But if we can issue fines, we can then employ somebody, so it might be a revenue for council.
Right, is that all?
That's all the report.
Yeah. Council, right, item 11, clerk's report. Oh, it's you, James.
Not got much to say
No.
this time. Obviously we've had Christmas, Kerry's been off, we've not been able to get in the office, and they said to me, I keep saying that, I shan't be able to use it as an excuse for anything next month, because we're now up and running. Saw Kerry on Tuesday with starting to move one or two things, and I'm happy that by the time we meet again, you'll have all your information in good time and good order, and we'll be able to move it all on.
Thank you very much. Correspondence received by council for information, item 12. No?
Activity Communities Programme for 2020 and 21 from Bolsover, temporary events licence for Christmas activities, so been and gone, but we did it. And you've had a new TV licence.
Thank you very much.
Or the TV licence been renewed. That would be a better way of saying it.
Item 13, correspondence received by council for decision.
Well, you've got, there's a quotation for the repair of the roof of the garages where the mowers are kept. I don't know how urgent that is. I imagine if the roof is damaged, things will deteriorate.
It is bad, Jan. It was bad when I was employed here. We've got all that machinery in there. It's just covered up. It just floods. There's no repair.
We've got just one quotation.
Kerry just gave me one quotation, £690. I don't know whether that...
Can we go back and have another two?
Get two more.
Yeah.
There's been a request for a meeting to discuss the possibility of holding a festival, sort of carnival type thing.
Sorry, I can't hear you very well, Janice.
Sorry, there's been a request for a meeting to discuss the possibility of holding a festival, carnival thing. It goes. Do you know
Yeah,
about that?
I spoke to Rachel Swan. Could we defer that to the events committee? Yeah, and then work with that.
War Memorial fencing post blocking drainage channel. I've copied that and given you that to look at. Obviously I realise you're not having time, so we're meeting again in a week. Can come up again in a week. Sponsorship of the 2020 Bolsover Festival of Brass. Apparently you did something. All these can come back next week. Checking them out. Apparently you did something last time. It sounds as if they've had some trouble with where they're meeting.
Yeah, the heritage, we won't let them have any Wi-Fi, they've been on Wi-Fi. So now we need to shine.
Wherever you were getting your Christmas tree from, they do planters. I don't know if you put those planters out.
We was discussed it, Steve, we would come back and never came back with
This person said they do planters at £250 each. Again, I can come back with a bit more information. I've passed you 2 quotations from Sutcliffe Play, which seem to be a surprise to you. I don't know if any of you know what they were. Kerry just handed them to me, so I copied them and gave them you out. But again, they're there for
It's the disability equipment.
Is that what it is?
Swing. So there's 2 quotes. One's there for the disability swing itself, and the other one is a multi-sectional, more activities for disabled kiddies. That's why there's 2 quotations. The first one's for the swing, the second one's for the multi-one. We have invited also anybody that, if we was to propose any of them and go forward with it, they have invited anybody that wishes to go around their factory with a neighbour with anything. You'll find the first one is basically for the swing itself, the disability swing, and the second one comes in for the multi-equipment for disabled kiddies. Quite expensive, I know, but then for disabled children, it's got to be.
Proposal there to take an overview of the facility of the cemetery and the fields, etc. Get that on as an agenda item. We should look at the skate park and obviously the disabled.
Yeah, the only thing is we've actually passed a motion, we've got an agenda item to do this.
Yeah.
They will incorporate the disability.
Yeah.
They will incorporate the disability equipment to that that's already standing.
Yeah, what I'm saying is with the skate park and obviously the, the disabled equipment as well, should we not take an overview of the site and actually decide where we're going to put things before we locate one thing one place and then decide what we should do?
Well, they've said they locate the disability equipment in front, depending on what we want. Right, if we go for the multi-structure, that will need the park extending this way towards the community centre. The skate park where Dan said is basically going up, we would like to site it near the pavilion, just the other side of the fencing, move the fencing out, wait and site it there and bring the fencing back round it. So, you know, it's up to you if you wish as a council to go through it all, yeah, it's fine.
I think we'll go through it again next week. We've already, the only thing about, we have passed it to put a swing in.
Yeah.
That's right,
So
Ross.
that's
Right, Chair. We did pass it for the swing and not the multi,
yeah.
but they did say, because I was in attendance with Steve when they came, and we did say, and I did make that point, that we've only passed it as a swing. It would have to go back to council for a multi-sectional. But obviously there's quite a lot to consider, because there's, as you can see, quite a lot of difference in pricing.
Yeah. We'll have a discussion.
You want me to bring the skate park thing back for next meeting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no, it's cool. I just wanted to make sure that's all.
Can I just are there many companies that do this, Steve? I would
Maxine,
think that there are.
The two companies came out, Maxine. Steve asked me if I'd like to follow it all the way through, which I said I'd like to. So this company only emailed me. This is the only company I've had an email from.
Right.
And it's exactly, that's what's been took off there. I've not brought it to council before now because I didn't know what was happening, because it needed to be printed off as such as Architect has. But there was another company come out, and I cannot remember what their name was, but this is the only company. Whether this is the only company that's replied to us or not, I don't really know.
You don't know which other company you went to?
I cannot remember, Janice,
You
no.
go to Sligo,
I cannot remember,
very
but if I may say that listening to both companies, and no disrespect to the previous one, these were a lot more professional.
If you ask for 3 quotes and you only get 2 houses, you know, you can see now that's all.
How are you feeling of it now, getting a better understanding of it than the rest of us? Because obviously we haven't seen pictures or anything. What's your...
My feeling of it...
What would your feeling be? What project would you take forward off of these quotations?
Me, personally?
Yeah.
Well, I got from them that it was ultra professional, and the lady that came out to do it was absolutely fantastic. The sponge thing that we've got for the floor is very, very expensive because it goes on forever. Me personally, I'm going to be greedy and I'd say I would like to bring to council a multi-function for kids, because you can't put a price on happiness for disabled kids. But the way she explained it was that the multifunctional job, what they put on, the children can pull themselves up if they wish, and they can also have carers that will help them on such like to enjoy it. But like I say, it's a full council decision on what we decide to press forward with.
Sorry.
We're going to discuss that next meeting.
Yeah.
So it's in 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so
I'd just like to remind every councillor here that it was actually Steve's granddaughter.
Yeah, we
who ran this council. Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And the last one I've got on the list is broadband, the new CCTV, and I asked you what...
Sorry, can't shout up, Janice.
Sorry, I'm not used to shouting. Broadband for the new CCTV.
All right.
To have adequate broadband, it's going to be £199 a month.
That seems...
sorry.
Kerry says it seems a lot, but if you bought the equipment, you've got to have the broadband supported.
Yeah.
It's her suggestion, and I hope that makes sense.
Obviously, like for me, I work in IT as a living, and looking at these broadband speeds, for me, like when we go into a warehouse, the average thing that we say to them in a warehouse is anything between like 30 to about 60 is good speed. Now, for this to be 16.5 to 27.8, for me, that seems low for a broadband speed. To say like, even like BT now offer higher than that, like Virgin offer higher than that, so like, I think we should look at something else, because that is a slow speed for like, what is it, 4K cameras that we've got? 4K cameras, and we're offering this speed, it's not going to match up, right? You're going to get, it's going to be all blotching, like you need quicker speeds than that.
I've got 10 upload, and I've got 40 download at my house. It costs me £32 a month. So I'm not being funny, that is not value for money.
Balls,
I think we have an expert in the camp.
yeah. What I'd like to have a look at is when we were tended, balls over tended, when balls over tended as a camera system, everything was sorted, that was as priced. Now the cameras have been put up and all of a sudden, no, your broadband's not right. Well, that's your fault, your cameras were set up to run on our broadband. So I'd like to look back at contract to see what's happening with that.
Somebody should have done a survey.
Yeah.
They should have seen what speeds were available. That's all they just put it
Yeah.
So
I mean,
we'll get that rooted out for next week's
Yeah.
meeting. And we can have a look.
That's like building an house and there's no room on the power network for it.
I mean, for a living, I do Wi-Fi surveys, like that's what I do. Like I go to sites, go around warehouses, go around office buildings, you know, go around pubs like this and that, and offer Wi-Fi surveys. And the minimum we would give out is like the minimum we would offer is anything between 40 to 60. You push it above 60, it's too, you're not going to get it. You're going to get black spots. You drop below 40, there's going to be black spots. You want to hit the right bit. If you're paying 190 quid for that, it's shocking. Like you can get like Now TV offers a better thing for that, and you're paying that 10 quid a month for Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we just need to get back to the original
yeah, I think it's
contract and what we offered and who did the survey.
Yeah, okay, I'll get all the original documents.
It's also, well, CCTV, so the outcomes, what's happening with that?
Get it all dug out
If you could.
and sent to
Good, that's all, fine.
I'll give you.
Hold on, Chair.
I'm leaving room to this plan.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this? Planning.
All that done on planning is go on the Bolsover website and print off the ones that they said are not yet sorted out. And obviously now we've got the episode and we can bring them forward. What is your policy with planning? At my council, as soon as I've got a planning application, I forward the details out to all councillors so that they have a chance to have a good look before they come to the meeting. And then I print all the plans off for them.
Would be
And
nice,
have them
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Is that how you want it? Is that how you handle it? I don't know.
No. I think your versus a bit more in depth and house.
They don't pay much attention to it.
Oh yeah, Parish list, that's it. If you can provide details.
It's how you want to do it.
What do we want to change how we do with planning? We want more information, like Jess has just said, we can sort that out.
Unless there's a, unless, councillors or the public have got certain concerns about it, I don't think we should be looking in that kind of detail. I mean, at Balborough
It's your council, not
at
like
Balborough we
mine.
do exactly the same as this, as we have to. Yeah.
I mean, my personal point of view is we're a parish council, Bolsover District's got their policy, but as a village we want to maintain our integrity. So, me personally as a councillor, I'd like to see more detail on the planning applications and what's going forward in this village. I think that's one of the mainstays of our business, really.
Yeah.
We should be in charge of development.
Just to go back to what he said, that's fair play, but I also take on point what Dave has said. We can see when applications come in, on what's happening regarding just a simple two-storey extension to a warehouse being built, and if regarding from a simple extension to something more in-depth, then we can look at that particular a little bit more in-depth and take a time on everything else, if you know what I mean.
So could I propose then that we get, okay, could I suggest that we add a list like this that came out, and then with our agenda, and then if there was any councillors that particularly wanted to know more about a particular planning issue, contact the clerk, and that could be made available at the meeting.
You can go on the Bowls Over.
You can get on the website.
Look at all the.
Yeah. Just go on BDC website,
We
planning.
can't do that in a council meeting and have a discussion about
No,
it.
but you
We
can from when you get.
early enough.
That's what I'm suggesting.
Yeah.
If any councillor's got a particular interest in one of the proposed developments,
Yeah.
you can contact Janice and we can.
No, you just go on the website.
What
But we can't do that in a council meeting.
No, but you can do it before you come.
Every time the planning applicant, and I know we're only small, and one council, we've had one application in 6 months, the other one bigger and gets regular ones. As soon as the notification comes, I just forward that email to the councillors that it's a notification, and if they're interested in, you know, if it whets their appetite, they have a look at it. Then I bring a full list to the parish council. I do print up the details in case anyone wants to discuss it. Which is
We used to hold down the detail. So,
All I'm saying is basically there's people like, you know, Ross, you work on buildings, you've got independent builders waiting to come and crack the whip and everything, and just for like simple extensions such like, you know, they're waiting for the team to come in and having, I wouldn't think it's fair on those people having to wait X, Y and Z while we deliberate over a simple extension. I take on board anything that's really ultra out of the way as such, a little bit more, but like for simple forward extensions, because as we all know what's happening at the minute, people are building on more rather than moving, so they want to get the team in as quick as possible because it's such like that. That's what I'm saying anyway. That's what I'm saying.
But they put a deadline when they put the planning application, send it out. There's a deadline, and so we would have to react within that deadline.
Yeah.
Whether if we're late, then we've missed the boat. That's it. So it's not. It won't be left to us.
If you do get something very controversial, well, certainly in Derbyshire Dales, you can ask for an extension
Yeah.
of the time to reply.
Yeah.
I'd just like to remind councillors here that we've been asked by 2 parishioners to support them with planning. I think as much information as we can get in planning to council.
You see, if you don't always know the history of an area, you can miss things.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, sorry, Chair, what I'm saying is I get what you're saying regarding that. I'm just looking at people who's having a normal extension built on their house.
Yeah.
No, I agree as well.
Not for building properties. If you want to build a property, yeah, exactly. Like people who wanted to build an extension on the property and such like, they've got teams lads waiting to come in. You know, I've just put my bathroom in to be done since Christmas and I'm going to get it done till March. It's, everybody's that pulled out with it. That's all I'm saying.
Chair, I think the clerk's got the right idea. You know, it goes straight out to the councillors, and if it pulls your interest and rings a bell, and we can actually flag that up and ask it to come on to main council and some more information we brought, so the whole council can look at that information at that meeting.
But you can look at it yourself online and bring it to meeting your issues or anything then. So.
But I'm not going to print 11 copies off it on.
No. What I'm
saying, the clerk could do that for us. I know I could look at it myself, but we can't look at it in council, can we?
Pull it out. This way.
I think the more information what councils get, better. If we
so we've got
don't accept
many
it,
councils here. We've got iPads that can get straight onto planning portal.
Sharon?
Yeah, years ago, all planning applications used to be pinned up on the board. When it were at the back of there, everyone pinned up, all plans, everything. And councillors that came to the meeting showed interest. They went and got the plans off the back for it to be discussed at that meeting. It was all there ready. Each councillor didn't have a copy, but everyone was pinned up as you could get it off and look at it if there was any interest shown by councillors in that planning application.
Do Bolsover send them out, do you know?
No,
So it's all online.
Everything. Yeah.
and it's not always accessible.
Shall we run this back to the following?
Yeah, we can make a decision on it. Next, can have a think and
It's just, well, we can't.
you've got your list of what's on the website.
Hang on, Ian, hang on. Sorry.
That's it, that's all.
That's
I
it,
want to say.
yeah.
You've got your list.
Sit down, don't open the door.
Very demanding. Of course.
Item 15.
Got one Volvo on it. No, no Volvo.
Oh, right, well, all they did was put, ask for it for Clowne.
Well, we went and said,
Reduce the
yeah, it's that.
Yeah, it's because it says Clowne Road.
Because it's a town road.
That's why, yeah.
Right, I never checked and said that. We'll do it.
All the roads in Clown.
Yeah.
Clown roads involved.
Right, I'm learning all the time.
Right then, item 15, finance. Janice?
Right, accounting statement you normally get, it will be available for the next meeting because Kerry's working as hard as she can to bring the finance up to date. The same thing with the schedule of payments for approval, she'll have that ready for us for the next meeting. Which brings us on to budget and precept 2020-21, which I think we've got quite a lot of work still on. I don't think much has been done for it. I know I keep harping on to what I do elsewhere, but I start this process in September. The precept has to be in by early February. I've spoken to the officer at Bolsover and they're happy to, there's a little bit of wiggle room for us. So we need to be making a decision at the February meeting. Pull some, or Kerry's given me bits of information on last year's, but we're not quite sure where we are budget to actual. So we're not quite sure what the carry forward figure's going to be at the moment. So we're working on that. And obviously we've got to get it ready for the finance committee to look at and then come back and make recommendations. What we do know is that the precept last time was topped up with a grant, a council tax support grant of 12,422. That council tax support grant is no longer there. So straight away to stand still, you've got to increase your precept by 0.37%, just to make up for that 12,000.
And how much does that affect?
I've not worked out the big
That's going to be the crux into
how it
how much
affects
it's
people.
going to affect
Yeah.
typically a band D council tax.
Yeah, I don't know, I got this yesterday and
Should we get carried forward? We don't know what we actually
You've got
need
an
or what we
idea?
need to put up.
and I think you haven't carried out all your projects that you planned this year, have you?
But those predictions you can get from EDC, I think it will give you, depending how much you want to raise it by, it will show how much it will affect
Yeah.
the council
Oh, yeah.
tax.
Somewhere in the multiplier.
Our places don't want to write the right place, I think the finances what I've seen and gone through, we don't need to raise it, but
No,
once
probably
we
not.
get figures
It's just
through,
got reserved, don't they?
yeah, I don't think it's
I don't know
wrong to,
how your salaries are and things like that, but
no.
there's a big jump in basic rate, isn't there?
Yeah,
There's been a
minimum
6% increase in the minimum wage, I believe. That could have an effect on things.
Right.
forward them out, then work back from that, and we can see where we're at. Also what we've,
And the projects that you've carried out and the ones that you might want to carry out.
Was that last year's?
They're last year's figures from that Kerry's
Yeah.
printed off for me.
so everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
So we're working on that, and then, so that's it on finance.
There's a copy of that in the office, Steve, that's better. Item 16, clerk's report, we've just had that one, so,
Yes, we've got that one twice.
yeah.
I've had to have my own voice.
I'd like to thank everybody, meeting's now, please.